we got a good one right here. Title is called "Cops Suspended for Assaulting Man." It says 3 DC, Washington D.C. cops suspended for punching a man repeatedly. Let's get to it.
3 DC police officers have been suspended after punching a man repeatedly in the face. Here's the video.
Okay, let's get to it. Here's the video. Whoa! Look at that! What the fuck? What the fuck? 4, 5. Look at it. 6 times. 6 times he punched him. What the fuck? Just threw another one. Uppercut right there. Look at that. Uppercut. What the actual fuck?
If you continue to watch that video, the residents around this situation, they became more and more upset because of this officer punching this man in the face. You see, those officers were creating a bad situation for the other officers in that scenario. If no one punched this man in the face, you would not have seen this level of response from these other residents who said, wait a minute, you can't do that to him.
If now, remember, ladies and gentlemen, arrest him,
we've been traumatized by video after video
put the handcuffs in, detain, arrest, nothing will happen. But the fact that threw 7 punches this guy, people don't even, what the fuck, man?
That's traumatizing. And for an officer to engage in this manner, to punch a man in the face repeatedly, when obviously it was uncalled for. Bad policing, I call it criminal. Let's go further. 3 DC police officers involved in an arrest of a man in Southeast Washington have been suspended and referred for possible criminal prosecution after one of the officers was seen on video repeatedly punching the suspect in the face. Now, leadership matters. We talk about leadership a lot on this show. There's a police chief. And this police chief said, we're not having this in my department.
Good. I'm glad
Police Chief Robert J. Conti told reporters that he was embarrassed and ashamed of what he saw, adding that it was inconsistent with the department's training, tactics, and values. Let's put up a picture of the chief.
Here's the chief right here, ladies and gentlemen.
He provided leadership on this.
That's a good chief right there.
Prosecutors said in court on Monday that they would not pursue criminal charges against the men, and they were set free. We're talking about the people that you saw there. The Washington Post is not identifying the men because they are not charged with any crimes. D.C. Council Chairman Phil Mendelson, a Democrat, said he was pleased the chief quickly sent the matter to the U.S. Attorney's Office, adding, there's nothing in that video that justifies the officer beating
right there. There's nothing in that video that justifies those cops in the video throwing punches at that man.
And I completely concur. Now, there was a handgun at that scene. That charge has been dropped too. You see, this is what happens when you engage in bad and criminal policing. That even if you could have made a legitimate arrest, you committed an offense worse than the person you're trying to arrest.
Exactly.
And now these cops,
and here's another fucking case in point, ladies and gentlemen,
possibly 3, may be criminally charged themselves. But once again, it goes back to leadership. The chief of police, his actions were swift. He said, this is not the department that I'm going to oversee, and that he was embarrassed of how these officers handled themselves. They did not try to make it. I'm talking about leadership here. They did not try to make it about the victim. They didn't say, well, the victim was doing A, B, and C, or the victim had a gun somewhere. Nope.
No, or the victim had drugs in his pocket.
The general said, hey, we're dropping the charges. We're dropping the charges in light of these bad cops. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically it. You see, this is bad policing all the way around. 100% bad policing. Adrian, being an attorney at law, you understand there are some people who should be arrested, and there are others who should not. But when you have bad police officers in the world, guess what happens? Everything gets thrown out the window because of bad cops. Why don't bad cops get the blame in the criminal justice system they should for jacking up the system?
Well, you know what? They don't necessarily get the blame because the system was built to cater to them and to oppress certain peoples. The thing about the prosecutor dropping the charges in this instance, it doesn't impress me much because the thought is what if the charges were trumped up? What if you didn't like the way he looked at you? What if he was just sitting on his stoop and all of a sudden you claim that he is, resisting arrest? All of these things that we've seen with these trumped up charges that are essentially fraudulent. And it was just a way to oppress brown and black men. And so the fact that the prosecutor dropped them doesn't really do much for me, but it will do a lot for me in the event that these officers are actually charged with assault, because that's exactly what they did. They had this man subdued to a certain extent, but not to the extent that they needed to punch him in the face.
Exactly. And true shits, and I mean, truthers, I know you're probably going to listen to this one. You know what? You can bitch and moan and do these videos like that, but you know what? The police are held to a higher standard to most of the people in the society. You know why? Because they protect our community. Dumb shit. Look it up. They are protect, serve, and they pay. Who pays their fucking salary, dipshit? We do. And they go out there gonna throw punches, gonna shoot people because, the criminals, they feel like, they're feared for the safety and life. When people, most of the time, they're unarmed or someone's trying to get away from the cops like that. But you're gonna say, well, I bet you're going around, true shit's gonna go around instead of say, the guy that killed George Floyd, that was justifiable. Breonna Taylor killing, that was justifiable. What about the old school? Like, what about the cops that beat up Rodney King back in the fucking 90s? Those cops got off, but now, see, people are aware of that. See, that was bullshit. Why the fuck do you think back in the 90s when Rodney King, those cops got off, there was a bunch of rioting and watch shit like that? Because that was bullshit. There's people say cops can get our way. That's why the old saying is qualified immunity. And that's why cops are held to a higher standard. That's why you get fun and all that shit like that. Qualified immunity going out the window because people are sick and tired of these fucking bootleg jackknife thugs get away with fucking. That's what they are. They're blue line fucking thugs. Wake the fuck up, true shits.
3 times and then punch him. I think he took some punches to the rib cage.
Yep.
Yeah, he took a couple.
What's going on here, other than these individuals who have been suspended and need to be fired, should not be in positions of power with state-sanctioned authority. This is not okay.
Yeah, and what's very clear about the video, Adrian, everybody sees it. You have an individual who was unable. He's not fighting back.
No.
He's not punching anybody.
He's not doing anything wrong.
He is subdued. And you have an officer using their fist in order to punch him in the face and then punch him in the body.
Because they were getting pissed off at the guy.
They start getting upset, and rightfully so. Because we have seen this movie. We have seen this play out. And we have seen what it looks like when others just watch. You can't do that now. I'm serious. You just can't do that now. You have to say something if you see something.
Exactly. And that's why I'm going to add a point before I get the hell out of here as well. That's what he's saying is when you film it, when you go around the cops, you see something, you fucking film it. FTP, film the police. FTP, like Son of Hightower always says. For the people. NOTSEE. And with that said, I am out of here. Mike, y'all. Peace out.